Good afternoon. We'll begin the next session. In fact, we were supposed to start with the software quality and project management, but I'll begin with IA2 revision, second time that we will do, because a lot of corrections are required for your answers. Right? Ashish, Arpita, is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now look at that. See, when you look at the chapter number 3, right, it mainly focuses on design. And this is the most important chapter, right? And when you look at the chapter number 2, it is on requirement engineering, right? This. Okay, we focused on chapter number 2, unit number 2 and unit number 3, right? For IA3, we'll focus on unit number 4 and 5. And you people have to attend that one because I don't know on 16th how I'll be able to take it and all, right? So I'll be calling for you for the extra class even today also, right? So we'll try to begin the software quality and project management today. Now, when you look at this IA2, I'll show you the IA2 paper, right? So these questions are going to appear everywhere, every time. Prepare the use case diagram, prepare the sequence diagram, prepare the DFD, design the user interface, right? Or prepare the state diagram. But scenario will be different. Please remember, all these questions are going to appear. But the context given to you will be different, right? Ashish, okay?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, right. Now let's look into one of the examples which we referred during the study, right? So when you write a use case, please look into that. I will try to use this. See, you will put the boundary right like this, right? Which, see, this a rectangle or the square, whatever you see, okay, everything inside, whatever that is there, those are the use cases which you are going to build, right? Anything that outside you see, they are called actors. Please refer how exactly they have been written. You are writing an actor, okay, this symbol, and you are writing the name of that student, right? A professor, okay, a catalog, okay. This is the database which is being, okay, which exists and which we are going to use. We are not going to develop this. So this also become an actor. Actor, okay, actors are those who provide input to the system in a rectangle box, whatever you see, right, which you are going to design, right, or which will take an output produced from this. It could be a person, it could be a software, it could be a device, it could be anything. Ashish and Arpita, is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes.
And please remember, I'm focusing on the naming that whatever you are using, right? Now look at the functionality, right? So it is being written outside here. Sometimes people write inside also. Here, it's better you people write inside, not outside. And look at that. The name of the use case is nothing but the functionality. It refers, okay, the services it provides. View report card. View is a service. Register, okay, courses is a service, right? It indicates the activity, right? Please remember the naming of the use cases are also equally important. If a naming is not good, probably out of 10 marks, you are going to lose, right? Some marks. You are going to lose some marks. Are you clear about this? Right?
Yes, sir.
Right. So, see, look at that. Register for course. Select course to teach. Right? Submit grades. Right? Maintain information. Then maintain student information. Course registration. Right? Now look at that. This billing system is right. Is an actor. Right? A software device people, they can be an actor, provided they provide input to the system or they take an output from the system, right? Is it clear? Is this
Yes,
clear? Right, right. So now look at the question paper, right? Prepare a use case diagram for the given requirement specification. So you have been given a problem statement. You have been given a problem statement. I told you that when you read, try to pick use cases, right? Schedule a course. Instructor is an actor. Schedule a course, right, is an use case, right? We gave an example. You have to read every line and then okay, keep on marking there, right? Then marking in your answer booklet immediately. You can make a list of all the use cases, list of actors, right? Below that, keep on writing. Then okay, write the diagram. Are you clear about this?
Yes, sir.
Are you clear?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Okay. Now look at that. The another question which we have asked, right? Okay, that was, I'm sorry, um, here, right? For any one scenario of the use case. I mean, first you have to tell which use case you are picking. Consider the use case, okay, withdrawal of money. I think that's the best example that we have taken, right? Right? For that, any one scenario, right? Write a sequence diagram. Right? How do you write a sequence diagram? Sequence diagram, when you write, you need to mention about the use case and a scenario, right? Well, if you look here, right, you will be having an object. You will write an object. What are the different objects they participate? Please look into that. And inside, you will be writing object name, right? Then you'll be writing a vertical dotted line. I cannot draw a dotted line here, so I'm asking you to look visualize this as a dotted line. Then okay, the particular actor, if at all they are interacting, right, you will be writing here. Then what you will do is write this sequence diagram. What exactly you do here, that you write it. Okay, this sequence in a particular order, one below the other. Sometimes you interact within the self, right? So this clearly you people indicate that, and many of you people have not written this also properly, right? Are you getting this? Right? Are you getting this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Why two we are talking, right? Yes. Then look at the DFDs, right? Data flow diagram. What exactly is a data flow diagram? Right? In a given system, how exactly data flow from one process to the other process, and what kind of transformation it takes place for the whole system, right? So if you look at that, right, the process that we indicate like this, oval shape, right? Then okay, you show the flow of this. Then if any repository is there, two parallel lines we use, right? Then if any entity that you have it, that we use a rectangle to indicate. Like when you say, for example, every process, say for example, it is a registration, assume that. This is the registration, right? What are the kinds of input it get? Student details, right? You can write student details. Then what happens, right? It will store the information in a okay, registration, right? You can write student registration database. In that information will get okay, stored. Got it? Then you can proceed, right? Depending on right, okay, which system that you are reading, right? So this data flow diagram is again an equally important thing. Are you getting this?
Yes, sir.
Right. Then UI design. Question number 2. Nobody has attempted this. Don't leave it. Okay, it may show up on that in semester end examination. You may get this. Okay, it may not be the use case diagram, and then what is that you are going to do? Right? Hardly one or two has attempted this. Everyone has gone for question number 1. Right? So UI design for the given system description. You read the system description and find out, okay, what all the user interface that is required at different stages and all. You need to do that. Are you clear? Are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right? Then look at this, right? here, question number 3, how you have to write, right? State diagram is not the flow chart. State diagram is not a flow chart, right? I told you for this, we have solved it also, right? Now consider that you are in the state 0. You are in state 0, or you can give a name for that also, right? Now look at that. It is required to display the reusable software system that reads a continuous sequence of zeros and one fed by external system, and then send again, and when as and when sensed the values are available. The system returns 1 for every consecutive sequence of 3 ones, right? In a block of 3 symbols counted from the current input symbol to previous 2 inputs. Otherwise 0 for every current input. The example is given here. For example, okay, you can have a notation. If you get a, right, it is a initial, right? If you get a 0 or initial, you are here, right? Initial you can say here. Then if you get a 0, right, what you can do is, if the input is 0, I'll write it with a red color. If the input is 0, output is also 0, you remain in the same thing, right? If you get to 1, you make a transition to the state number 1, right? You get a 1, okay, write a 0 output. That notation you can write this as X bar Y. X indicate that it is an input, that is a label for every arc here, and Y indicates the output is going to produce, right? Then the moment you get a 0, it is going to break this, right? If you get a 0, then again the 0, right? Then you know that one, the error state, okay, anything, okay, error, right? Anything other than this, right? You can have this one, right? You can write a symbol, you can use OT as other, anything other than 0, 0, 1, okay, it will display error, ERROR, in short, ER, right, and continue to remain in the same state. That is applicable for all, right, edges. Any other symbol, right, you get an error, right, you indicate it's an error, writing an error. So again, from the state 1, if you get 1, you get to the state number 2 here. If you get 1, you're still outputting 0 only, right? And if you get a 0, previous 2 things have been broken, it will go back here. Please recollect. If you get a 0, output is 0. And similarly, if at all any other symbol you get, right, it is an error, right? It is an error, thus. And you can remain same, ignore it, right? Ignore that input, this condition, or you can go back to the 0 state also here. Any other symbol that is broken the pattern, whatever you recognize, you go back to state number 0 only. Instead of remaining in the same state, you go back here, right? This you remove it. This you remove it. Now, right, from the state 2, if you get 1, right, the consecutive ones, 3 ones, you got it, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. So if you get 1, output 1, and go to the state number 3. And state number 3 represent that you have detected consecutive 3 previous ones, right? And if you continuously get 1 here, right, you display 1 and remain in the same state. The moment you get a 0, previous pattern is broken and you will go back to the 0th state, right? If you get a 0 and you indicate 0 and get into, and any other, even 0 or any other symbol, it breaks the previous things. You can add this. Similarly here also, any other things, you straightway go back to the 0th state. Hope you are understanding this, but you are indicating error and then going, right? Not 0, because this is to be displayed as an error input, error in the input. Are you getting this? So you need to write, okay, something like this, right? But state diagrams, people are not written properly. It is so simple. You have studied in FFL. Ashish and Arpita, I wanted a comment from you.
Yes, sir. About
How you are written, right? What did I say, right? Any differences? Did you learn? Did you correct that? How it is to be written? Ashish and Arpita.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Arpita, you speak now.
We had thought of it first, like we have to draw state diagram, but when we saw that we have to represent its behavior or something, we switched to like kind of explaining that model or something.
Okay, but the state diagram is not properly written as a state diagram. Many people have written okay flow chart.
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, please look into that. Please look into these things. Right, this video also I'll upload. One or two videos somehow it got corrupted. I could not upload it. Right, 12th one Saturday whatever we have taken I could not upload because it got corrupted in between. I don't know what has happened. Right. Okay. Any other question? Okay, at this stage, Ashish.
Sir, other than that, questions are not yet.
Okay, right. Now look at that.
Yeah.
When you write a test script, okay, the document already I have made available. How to write the test scripts, and you have to use detect sequence. The instance of that you have to create, and this detect sequence is the one class diagram. Sorry, state diagram. Whatever you have prepared in the previous question. Right? And for that state diagram, you have to write the test script. And this also not clearly written. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. So please go through that. All these things will help you to write better the semester end exam. Now let me get into question bank. Did I go to, have you seen the question bank published in the Google class?
Yes, sir, we got them.
Right. So shall I spend at least 5 to 10 minutes on that?
Yes, sir, sure.
Yeah. Okay. Now look into that. Right. Here have written question bank for semester and exam preparation. This question bank is different, and whatever we were preparing in class question bank, that is different. Got it?
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
And these question banks will enable you to learn better. Don't think that okay, these are the questions going to appear, right? Even in IA2 also, no, you got a different scenario, no? Question number 1 and 2. For that, you got a different description.
Yes, sir.
Right. So one should not think that okay, once if really if you solve that, you are in the position to get better marks. In that way, I'm telling as a question bank. Please remember. Right? Shall I get into this particular thing? Question bank.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So our given at institute level, we have decided that first 3 units let's give it so that people can understand what kind of okay question that may appear in the exam, not what questions are going to appear. Right?
Yes, sir.
So this kind of things every course teacher will publish. Please ask if they are not done it. Right? By today evening, everyone is supposed to give it for 5th semester. If not given, ask them, CR to ask, call them and ask. Right? Thus.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Right. Now look at the unit number 1. I have given a syllabus short as well as write the questions, sample questions. Okay? Shall I explain?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now look at that. List and explain the various software process models. This is straightforward. I've given a page number also. Right? The list and explain the various software process models. Are you getting this? Right? It has been given a workflow model, it can be given data flow model, okay, role, okay, action model, then waterfall approach, evolutionary approach, formal transform. They are given so many things, right? This is straightforward thing, okay? Theoretical. Hello, Ashish, Arpita.
Yes, sir.
I've added this question, which I don't like it, right? Just to give that one, such a kind of theoretical things may appear, which is extract of the book directly from the heading. So everyone must read the book. Every line, I given instruction at the bottom, probably you might have seen, right? Look at the instruction given at the bottom, right? Um, where, right? Did I give, discuss with your chapter? Example scenario, no, I think somehow it's missed it. Right? Discuss your course teacher for details of any topic of study from unit 1 to unit 5. No, I'm not written it. Okay. So you have to read every line before you go to examination from the textbook, right? Now look at the question number 2. Very interesting. Explain how following product characteristics can be achieved. I'm not asking what are those. That's the difference. People, now look at that: maintainability, dependability, usability, right? Efficiency. You keep on writing so many things. What is maintainability and all? Govind, you are listening or you are correct? See, what is maintainability is different. But my question here is, right? Explain how maintainability, okay, can be brought into the product, right? So the book says that one, what is maintainability and all. But my question is not that. If you write the answer, you feel that I've written what is there in the book, but you will not get a marks at all. That's why you read it. Explain how following product characteristics can be achieved. Maintainability. Are you getting it? Right? So we have discussed in the class. In that way, question is different. Ashish and Arpita,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
understood? Right.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Right. See, what is maintainability? See, there are two kinds of maintainability we have discussed, recollected. Okay, corrective maintenance and adaptive maintenance. Correction in the sense, with a known flaw I release, I want to correct it. And adaptive maintenance is new feature they wanted, you want to do it. So whenever you, okay, because of the corrective maintenance or adaptive maintenance, whenever you touch your design or code, so that the impact of the change will always impact the already existing code. You want to minimize it. How do you do it? Right? The best approach is, right, object orientation. Make everything, in that, one of the important thing I want to tell you, that make every object to have a single purposeness. We call them as cohesiveness. So when it is highly cohesive, what happens is that it is responsible for only one thing. So anything that is responsible, it is within its pocket only, right? So thereby it enhances maintainability. So examples of encapsulation. Encapsulation, I told you that one facilitate, okay, maintenance of the code. Are you clear? Then adaptive maintenance, we have a polymorphic calls. Now assume that you have a 100 shape today. You have written a code. Then tomorrow another 100 shape will come. What happens is that you need to have object pointers only, and automatically without much change I can accommodate. So polymorphic, but simply writing polymorphic call encapsulation doesn't make your answer complete. You need to illustrate that. Okay, I have written at the end. Remember, every explanation, look at that. Examples, scenarios, and illustrations are more important, 70% weightage, while writing any of the answer. Okay, instead of simply explaining theoretically. If you theoretically explain, right, you get, okay, 30 to 40% of the total marks reserved for that. You want more than 50%, though the answer is correct. If you want the 10% marks or more than 50-60%, you need to always illustrate. Are you clear about this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's a good thing, right? Right. Then for each of the clauses in the IEEE SEM Code of Ethics, suggest an appropriate example that illustrate that clause. Refer it. I've given page number 15. Right? You open that. What all the different clauses you have? Right? You have something, right, called a public. Software engineers shall act consistently with the public interest. What example you will give? Right? What example you give? Client and employees. Software engineer shall act in a manner that, okay, that is in the best interest of the client and employer, okay, consistent with the public interest. Right? So what is the example? Please work out on the example. Simply you write it back, thus you will get 30% of the marks. Explain how following key challenges of software engineering are managed. Question is different. What are they? We are not asking. How they are managed? Legacy challenges. Legacy challenges is so and so. How do you manage? Heterogeneity challenges thus. How do you manage? Delivery challenges. What are the product delivery challenges? Right? How do you manage? Page number 13, it is there. For your easy reference, I've written this. I'll read it for your benefit. Right? For example, heterogeneity challenge, you look at that. Right? What happens is the heterogeneity challenges is the challenge of developing a technique to build dependable software which is flexible enough to cope with heterogeneity. Product heterogeneity, software heterogeneity, device heterogeneity, right? Language heterogeneity, lot of things, right? So you have to go for the distributed environment. Right? Are you getting it? Just a minute.
Yeah.
Just a minute. There is a call for me. I'm back here. Right?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Sir, some students wanted an example on the ethics one question.
Yeah, that's what. Okay, now we have discussed okay, a lot about that. Now let's get into page number 15, right? Ethics 15, right? I'll pick one of that, right?
Yes.
You have to create sometimes, right? I'll pick one, right? Third one, product. A software engineer shall ensure that the product and related modification meet the highest professional standard and possibilities, right? Look at that, the product and related modifications, okay? Highest, what I can say, standards and all. Any modification you do, documentation needs to be performed, right? And any changes that you do, why that changes you are doing it, you educate the client. Are you getting it? Or sometimes you find there is some bug which client might not have noticed, right? Okay, as a part of ethical things, you say that, well, we have noticed this bug, it is not being documented, we have documented here, the new, okay, things you take it. Is it not your responsibility?
Yes, sir.
Right. For example, maybe when you go to the shop, assume that you are buying some packaged eatables. Right? You go to the counter and start paying, and he's scanning the barcode, and you notice that it is the expired one. Right? There are many people simply push that one to you, take it and go. But some people, the moment say that one, they keep it aside. This is expired, get one more. Right? Is it not an ethical thing?
Yes, sir.
Right? See, we wanted each one of you to be a good human beings, naturally become a good engineer. Right? Now look at that. I'll read once again. Okay. Software engineering shall ensure that all their product and related modifications meet the highest professional standard and possible. right? Modification with a known bug, modification with the unknown bug, whatever you do, right? You inform them, document it, and give to them. On this day, we have communicated this bug, we noticed this correction we have done. So they feel good about you. Modifications, where all you have modified, do that changes in the user manual, technical manual, and give to them. This is a version 2 with modification on this. Right? Don't charge them. Got it? For everything you say, 1 page I give it to you, you have to pay this extra, right? No, that doesn't look good. That doesn't look good. And there are certain standards, coding standards, right? Naming of variables, documentation standards, color combination standards. If you use, it makes documents better readable. Right? Notation used in your entire work, you educate them. It is not a part of your assignment, but yet you do it. There's a standard, There's a standard. Every book has its own glossary,
Yes, sir.
Right? Why don't you educate them? Got it?
Yes, sir.
So it needs more than reading a common sense. That's why software engineering experience. That's why students find it difficult while writing the answers. It's out of experience you have to get it. Right? But you read it. Right? Is it okay? Ashish?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Allow me to go to quickly to other things. Otherwise, it will become another session of the old one.
Yes, sir.
Right. What is software validation? Illustrate the various issues of subsystem testing that arise in the large software system. Don't think that it's a part of testing fourth unit. That's why I've written here, page number 61. Right? Okay. Right. Now here, subsystem testing. This phase involves the testing collection of modules which have been integrated into one subsystem. So when you integrate, like a lot of compatibility in terms of the parameter that you pass and mean, sequence, order, data types, mismatch, lot of things. That you have to give an example. Ashish.
Yes, sir.
Right. Explain why system testing costs are particularly high for generic software products which are sold back to a very wide market. It is taken from the chapter end. Right? Read it. Then here, list the various design process activities, develop an architecture design and interface design for some description. Right?
Yes, sir.
So these 8 questions has a wide varieties of thought, and that will trigger. I feel all of you right the prepared for all these things and reading of the rest of the book for this. Right now, look at the. Quickly I'll read. Requirement engineering. Write the structure for the requirement document suggested by IEEE. Prepare the requirement document in IEEE format for your mini project. I2 we have asked, no? I1.
Yes, sir.
I1.
1.
Discover the ambiguities and omission in the following statement of requirements for part of ticket issuing system. Is it makes complete sense? Are there any missing? Or are there any ambiguity in that? Right? So look at that. The sequence diagram showing the action performed in the ticket issuing system. You may make any reasonable assumption about the system. Pay particular attention to specifying user errors. You have to visualize, what all can go in ticket issuing system. Describe different types of non-functional requirement that may be placed on the system. Give examples of each of these type of requirement. Non-functional, what all examples? Non-functional. I'll say response should be within 3 seconds. You should use Oracle as a database, right? You should have a naming standard this only. Many examples you can give. Now look at that. Explain with example the problems of using natural language for defining the user system requirements, and show using small example how structural language, structuring natural language into forms can help to avoid some of these difficulties. Taken from the book. Very good question. Prepare a business scenario. In the sense, it is by example. Right? Using your knowledge of how an ATM is used, develop set of use cases and possible complete set of scenario for each of the use case that could serve as a basis for understanding the requirements for an ATM. Use case can be used for understanding system requirements also. Now look at the unit number 3. Some big description is given. Do it. Develop the complete software architecture. Prepare use case diagram and possible scenario. Prepare any 2 sequence diagram. Prepare an appropriate UI. Prepare a complete data model. Right? Data model, when I talk about that, it includes DFD as well as schema, both. ER. Prepare DFDs. Prepare business scenario and demonstrate how sequence diagram and state machine model enables product validation. Testing. Sequence diagram and state diagram by testing we have done it now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That example you pick, for this question number 7 and 8 are independent. Rest all things are for given scenario. The big
Yes, sir.
scenario has been given here. Prepare a business scenario to demonstrate the use of state machine model that describe how a system responds to internal and external events. Okay, your stack example, state diagram, which we have taken example now, that is the best. Stack, state diagram for stack. Are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Refer Google Class for videos of all classroom coverage. Discuss with your class course teacher for details of any topic of study from unit 1 to 5 and IAs and any unsolved questions given at the end of each chapter of the reference book. Example scenarios, illustrations are more important while writing your answer instead of simply explaining theoretically. This I have added, it is available. All of you solve all these things thoroughly. So that will enable capability so that similar kind of any other things that you may come across, right? You can answer better.
Yes, sir.
So look at the IA2, we have asked about use case diagram, sequence diagram, DFDs, UI, state diagram. They are going to appear. In IA2, the scene was different. Now in question, look at that, the scene given is different. I'll read that. Department of Public Works for large city has decided to develop a web-based pothole tracking and repair system. The description is as follows. Citizen can log onto the website and report the location and variety of potholes. Severity of potholes. As potholes are reported, they are logged, within a public works department repair system and are assigned an identifying number stored by street address, size, etc., etc. Description goes. And note, any suitable assumption can be made to make the completeness of the problem description. If anything missing, you can assume, write assumption and accordingly answer any of the questions. Are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Right? The only difference is these questions are going to appear. Scenario will be different. That's all. So,
Yes, so there's a question in the chat, sir. That UI design questions, should we draw the diagram of the UI?
yes, with a pen, pencil, scale, you can draw.
Okay.
Right. Okay, anyway, session is ending. I wanted to, tomorrow, I don't know whether I can take a class. At what time tomorrow class? 9 o'clock. Ashish, at what time tomorrow class?
So tomorrow, yes, sir, at 9 o'clock.
8 o'clock, are you free?
No, say 8 o'clock. We have database management system.
Who is taking?
Shunan Goda, sir.
So I'll ask him about that. If possible, I'll swap it. Right? But anyhow, I don't know. Today I wanted one extra class. Okay, today we will meet. At what time shall we meet? Tell me.
Um, if it's possible, you can extend this.
Uh, let's take small break. Okay, but break is required.
Yes, sir. Or it's up to you, sir. We'll just
1 minute. 1 minute. Hold on. I'll talk with
yeah.
Shivan God on the phone only here, right?
Yes.
And I'll let you know about that. And even if it is okay, now it is getting closed. The session closes. I'll put a message, right? 1 minute. GMS Shivan Gowda, right? 1 minute. I'll talk. If session closes, then also I'll inform. But wait.
Yes. Okay.
ಶಿವನ್ ಕೊಡ್ರಿ ನಾಳಿಂದ 8 ಗಂಟೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅದ ಈ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ಗೆ ನಂದು 9 ಅದ ನಾಳೆ ಒಂದೇ ದಿವಸ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಂಗೆ 9 ಗಂಟೆ ಅರ್ಜೆಂಟ್ ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಬಂದದ್ದು ನೀವು 9 ತಗೊಳ್ರಿ ನಾ 8 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ತಗೋತೀನಿ ಓಕೆ ರೈಟ್ ಓಕೆ ಡನ್ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸರ್ ಆಶೀಶ್ ದಟ್ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಡನ್ ನೋ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಟುಡೇ
Oh, okay, sir. 8 o'clock tomorrow.
tomorrow 8 o'clock put a message that okay software engineering class and DBMS is at 9 o'clock classes are swapped for A division right
Sure, sir.
right
Yeah.
okay that's all today right shall I close this session
Yes, sir. Sure.
right that's done right yes
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.